This is super interesting, yeah. Collaborations and all being a very I don't know what to call Notice as a brand, because
Hmm.
you guys are young, you guys are
Yeah,
design first, so
correct.
that's kind of crazy. I love the philosophy behind it.
Thank you. And we have a very, we also still every day we figure out keyword notices. The definition is very fluid, but as a gist, if I were to wrap things up with explaining what Notice is an experimental design house where
Hmm.
sorry, wait, let me rephrase that. If I were to wrap everything up in a very gist, I would say Notice is an experimental object brand where we just build objects that tell a story. And I think that captures it enough, because for the definition of notice, we also like to keep it fluid enough where we can go back to the drawing board and say, and keep redefining what notice means. And we don't want to tie ourselves into a room and be like, "Ki hum yahi karte hain." Because I know
Hmm.
that we are learning and we are growing, and I always like to have the room to grow and change and evolve. Because in today's day and age, if you don't evolve, you'll be stuck with what you are and just, you know.
Right.
And that also sort of comes into a lot of our philosophy as individuals, because I think if one thing that I've learned in all these years of building Notice is execution is always beats perfection, right?
Hmm.
So
Any day.
running and breaking your any day, having something out is way more valuable than making something perfect. And that is what we do with our products. We put something out to the best of our capacity, keep iterating on it and making it better, and rather than worrying about making the best version of it in the first go. तो हम लोग वो iterate करते रहते हैं, and I think that is what we put into the company as well, right? We are a version of Notice right now, but we keep evolving and we keep growing, and that is something we keep at the back of our minds. कि यार, this is not the final version of things. We will keep getting better, and that is, I think, a great, like, that is something I always tell people, and I think it always helps me as a creative as well.
Love it, love it, love it. The last question, because we don't have a lot of time.
Hmm.
Let's wrap this up over here.
Yeah.
This is a philosophical question for you as a founder. There are two sides of a business. One is
Hmm.
the business side that the audience see, that the customers see. One is
Hmm.
that the founder have in his mind, the vision.
Correct.
Where do
Correct.
we see it going? What is it?
Mhm.
What is it for you, for Notice?
So this is something we again keep constantly battling and going front and back on, because of the structure of the team. I'd say we're quite lucky to have people who focus on the business output of things, where we're looking at it from the lens of building a business. And
Huh.
luckily, my lens and a lot of my co-founders' lenses also come from maintaining our um, like our vision. So we constantly have a back and forth as to where we lie, and our border and our goal also keeps moving a little bit. Because I think it's very important for a business to pivot with how the industry is moving. Otherwise, you won't survive, right? So you need to alter it, because what we are building, we've never had a blueprint of what is to be done. So we're also
Okay.
sort of figuring it out. So the vision keeps changing as we grow and learn. So the vision for us to build a huge object brand where we are synonymous with products, and where we want to make something as big as an IKEA, but very, like, a lot more premium and very story forward. Mischief was like our initial North Star when we started off, and we wanted to do something as crazy as Mischief. Now that became like a distant North Star for us, because we realized that may not be possible with the consumers that we deal with and the capital that we work with. But that still remains at the back of our mind. Ki yaar, one day, if we can do crazy enough things, we want to do something similar to that. But in terms of business, it's a constant fight to do things that will sell without killing our dream.
Hmm.
So right now, also we're pivoting to basically basically design things that are of a larger TAM, of that have like a larger market, basically, so that people are a little more easier to convert into customers. तो ये चलता रहता है, like constant back and forth between vision and dhanda is a that happens. And I think people who make it big and remain relevant through the years are people who can crack this balance. Because as fun as it sounds to just make a design first brand, if it doesn't make money, it won't survive, right? So you can't have like an andhadhund vision of making something crazy if it doesn't work. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it kind of does.